every 3 months, every 4 months, I will feel that I have sugar. Some moving object like worm in my stomach system. Immediately, I will take something like Combatrim or any of those deworming hair.
Yes.
So the thing will stop. But within months, it will come back again. And I am a type that used to take sugar. I take sugar very much. So until I came to discover salt, and I eat salt, balanced salt, then for for more than a year now, I have nothing to do with worm or anything like that in my stomach.
So what you are saying is enough salt in the body will destroy any appearance of worms in the body.
Yes. Another thing. The bladder is always weak. That is why that person that is suffering from diabetes will always be urinating, because of this bladder now. There is something God has made to protect that bladder. It makes it to be, it makes it to be hardened to hold the urine. So, by the time you are not taking enough salt to protect the bladder and also to harden it, so the bladder, during that time that there is no enough salt in your system, the bladder is weak, thereby causing you to be urinating every minute. How do I know it? I have been eating salt very well. I've been eating sugar very well, but I don't know. I'm not suffering from that. That one aside. I'm talking about the symptoms of diabetes. Now, it's because of there is no salt. That's why the bladder is weak. It's not because you drink sugar. It is because you do not take enough salt. That's why the bladder is weak.
Hey, I'll call you Dr. Wisdom now. That's it's making sense. It's making sense.
Now let us talk about. I've talked about why the diabetic patients has wounds, were on healing wounds. Salt heal wounds. Salt protects skin, protects both the skin and our inner system. Both all the organs in our body are being guarded, protected by the salt itself. God made it that way.
It's a preservative.
Salt is a natural preservative to our system. Now, somebody that is having diabetes drink water frequently is always thirsty. Why are you thirsty? You are thirsty because you don't have enough salt in your system. And now you are drinking more water. What is the water doing? Washing away even a little salt that was remaining in your system, because even the rainwater washes the salt nutrients. So you drink water and you urinate. You drink water and you urinate. Do you have any salt left? All the salt is gone now. You are just empty. Before you know it, the diabetes is becoming very high because the salt is washed away by the water you are drinking frequently. Yes. You are drinking water, you are washing away.
Yes.
And the same way also, when we are drinking water, then you wash away all the salt. That intestine that was preserved by the salt is now being exposed to danger. That is why there is wound in the intestine. The same thing that happens to the skin. Why? No salt. So the intestine begins to decay. Salt preserves. You see? So now, when the person is drinking water, and at the same time, maybe you happen to meet with the doctor will tell you, don't step with salt. It's even making the situation to be worse. See? Yes, water is good, but water washes. As you drink the water to wash your system, have you replaced your system with the preservative? So it's very important that there will be salt in any liquid that we drink. If possible, the water you want to drink, apply little salt, not too much, little.
But we are told that diabetes is a result of excess sugar in the body.
In the first place, where fire is burning, where fire is burning, can any organism survive in that fire?
No.
Which organism can survive in that salt, in the presence of salt in the system? Which organism can survive? Which organism can harm you when you have the salt in your system?
No, but sugar is not an organism.
Fine. Sugar is a substance
Yes.
that is needed in the body.
Yes.
God made it that way. But meanwhile also, there is something that should be present in the body. That very thing that is salt will do his own, and sugar will do his own. And sugar cannot do his own if salt is not there. So, in fact, everything that we are eating, they work together with salt. Salt is just like a grandmaster.
So what are you saying now? I've stopped taking soft drinks because of the sugar content.
Now,
Am I destroying my health?
well, you are not destroying your health, but you cannot do without the sugar. Well, sugar is not only in soft drink.
Exactly.
There is sugar in banana. There is sugar in sugar cane. The whole of sugar cane. When you are taking sugar cane, you have taken sugar.
Yes.
But I want to let you know that in that sugar cane is salt and sugar, not only sugar. You will never find any food that is being planted on this oil without salt. That tells you that salt is very important to this our health. And what is happening today? I went to eat in one restaurant and I applied salt. One banker, there's one who led is a banker. Said, why are you applying salt on your diet? Doctor said that it's not good to apply raw salt. And I asked him, what is wrong if I add salt to it? He said that the raw salt is not good. And I tell him that raw salt is good. I told her that salt taste has never changed. From when I was small till now, I always see that the taste is always the taste. I have never tested any salt that is fake. Every salt I tested the same. So what makes you tell me that salt is not good? I've been eating this thing from when I was small. So salt is good. Now people are being scared from eating salt. That is why there is much cancer, diabetes, infertility.
We will come to that. Let's just take a short break and we will come to that. Thank you very much, Brother Wisdom. Welcome back again. We're still with Brother Wisdom, and I prefer to call him Dr. Wisdom. Yes. We were talking about the excess salt, right? I mean, salt, you say salt and sugar
works together. They work
They
together.
work together.
Yes.
Now you are now. What are you saying now? That if you're going to take sugar,
There must be salt present in that very sugar.
Okay. So, but if I'm to take Coke now, how do I balance it? Because there's no sugar in a bottle of Coke.
Already there is a little salt in the Coke content. I know it by the test. When I test anything that contains salt, I will know. It's my tongue that will tell me. There is a little salt in Coke.
But it's not enough to neutralize the effect of too much sugar in the.
Well,
is it enough?
To what, in my own way of observing it, I discovered that when salt is being added to Coke, when salt is added to Coke, the gas will run off. The gas will just pull off. So I discovered that the reason why those that are producing the Coke are adding little amount of salt is so that the gas can retain in the drink, because anytime I add salt to it, the gas will run off.
And what we're saying is, are you recommending that salt should always be added to it for those who are addicted to taking minerals?
Well, I'm not saying that salt should be added to it, but this is where I do my own. I don't like to drink just sugar. That is just Coke. I always drink Coke after my diet, taking my diet. After eating, the food that I'm eating is loaded with salt. So when I take Coke to support it, it doesn't have any effect. But when you are taking Coke with food that is not already balanced with salt,
it becomes harmful.
Yes. But in my own way, as I'm seeing Coke is complete, because I always drink it.
There is a study in the mineral that says there are certain elements in a bottle of Coke that is corrosive. If, for instance, you drop a metal in a bottle of Coke, after a few days, it will rust. And the impression created is that as that thing rusts, that is how also it can destroy the body.
I disagree with that.
No, it's a practical experiment.
Yes, I disagree.
You can put it and you will see it practically.
I disagree with that, because the human body is not the same thing as mechanical object. As a metal object is not the same thing with a human body. Okay. Now we are organic. We are organism, yes, while the machine is inorganic.
Yes.
Salt helps. Salt, when it comes to living things, we need salt. When it comes to machine, if you put salt in an engine, it spoils the engine. So you cannot use a metal object to test the food that is to be eaten by man. No, because they are not the same.
Okay, salt can destroy a metal.
Yes, but cannot destroy
the body.
Yes,
because they are different components.
Yes.
Okay. Now you are trying to tell us still the commonest thing around is diabetes.
Yes.
Now, for somebody who already has gone bad in the diabetic symptoms and the sickness all over, wound that refuses to heal, will you then recommend that we take salt and pour on the wound?
No. Pouring salt on the wound cannot solve the matter. I think so. You have to reverse immediately. That your style of, that your habit of eating, you have to change it. Now that you have come to realize that the way you used to eat is not how God made it, you have to reverse, because I used to hear one language that you cannot cheat nature, and that word will always stand. We cannot cheat nature. We cannot cheat nature. If you refuse to sleep in the night, it's going to affect you in the day. So, everything about nature is very important. You can't do without any of it. You can't do without bitter. You can't do without salt. You can't do without sugar. You can't do they are all important. Everything that God made, God himself, it says, and God saw that it was good. Everything that God created, he saw himself, he saw that it was good. Then why will you, a human being who is just a creature, will come and say that this very food that God created for man to live and be healthy is not good?
No, but there's also the adage that too much of everything is bad.
Yes.
So could we also guard against taking excess salt and excess sugar?
Well, in that area, I would say that God has given us everything. God has made us complete. If a human being can make a car that is automatic, I was even told by my pastor that there is now that I've invented a car that you can just relax and so if a human being can do that, how much more God that cannot create a human being, create something that is automatic? God created us automatic. How do I know? It is your tongue that will tell you what is not good for you. If you test kerosene, can you drink? If kerosene is here now, you didn't know that it's kerosene. Then when you want to drink it, what will make you? Is it not the power in the tongue and the nose?
Yes.
God put it there to make you an automatic organism. We are made automatic. In fact, to my own understanding, we don't even need anyone to come and tell us what we are going to eat or what we are not going to. Where we don't, we are not going to eat. Not.
Your body will tell you.
Yes. If you want to drink, okay, let me just say that salt is being put in this water. They put salt in this water. The quantity is too much. When I want to drink it, that will be my response.
You will react. Yes.
That will be my response.
Yes.
Salt is too much. It's too much. I can't drink it. You cannot drink it. It will even burn your tongue. God has made this thing already. Who teach goat how to eat? Who teach lion what? Who tell lion you are supposed to eat flesh? Who teach fowl what to eat? You see a fowl even go and eat grass sometimes. Which human being teach the? If nobody teaches goat how to eat, then how much more we human being who was created in the image of God?
That's a good one. I have another point here. The hypertension, high blood pressure.
Yes. High blood pressure. Well, when I began to view what should be the cause of high blood pressure, to my own understanding, though I don't really know much about the cause, but from the little what I know, the evidence of high blood pressure is that the person will hardly sleep. You hardly sleep.
Yes,
Somebody will just sleep, lie down, cannot sleep for. So, I know the cause, and I know the cause from the symptoms. So now, what causes high blood pressure? Let us now look at the sample of blood. There was a time that that I went to do tests in the hospital. When they bring out my blood was dark. It was not pure red, something like this color. Dark red. So, well, there is one of my brother also that his own blood is always thick, shiny, red. Now, when I look at his own lifestyle, he eats whatever he knows that is, he like the taste.
Yes.
There are people that doesn't give a damn about your rules. There are people that eat everything.
Yes.
Or survive, they like the taste of that thing, they will eat. And you said those people are always healthy. I'm not talking about for one to go and smoke, but that one is not food. God did not make it that way.
Talking of food, yes.
So, I now come to think, I just think that God allowed those things to happen to me so that I will learn things. Because I go through many processes. My blood was watery. My blood was dark. Why is it like this? This period, it even affects my, let's say my reproduction life. Yes. I wasn't like this now. So I begin to study. Why would this happen? Why would this happen? I begin to think, use my head. Now, somebody that is avoiding sugar, because I used to avoid sugar before.
Yes.
All these things I'm telling you, I use my body to study them.
That's right.
When I avoid sugar, I discover that I am now even looking older than my age. I am not looking that young the way I used to be. Even my libido is not.
Very low.
So I have to every day I will think this one. If I think this one, this one doesn't work, I will enter this one, thinking, and now get to understand why am I okay. I have stopped. They said sugar weeks erection. Okay, and I have stopped sugar. The erection is not is weak.
Worse.
Okay, let me eat sugar. I eat. Pastor, assuming my wife is here and she'll be interviewed, I came to conclude that sugar doesn't wake erection. Sugar even increases the number of sperm. I don't know how to put it. Everything based on how we understand. Everything based on how we understand. Sugar is very good.
So we are trying to look at hypertension.
So, hypertension. Now, let us bring a sample of sugar. Let's add a little water to that sugar. Let the sugar dissolve. Or, if I doesn't want to use sugar, let me use a liquid gotten from sugarcane fluid. Let me put it in my hand, and for sometimes let breeze touch it. Or after maybe some minutes, you discover that it's gummy.
Yes.
It dry up, it becomes gummy. Now, when sugar is in liquid, it is gummy and a bit thicker than water, very little thicker than water. Sure. So, when it is in the blood, it adds quality to the blood. Now, I have been witnessing when goat is being slaughtered, you discover that the blood is very thick. The blood is very thick, and it looks somehow shiny. Something shiny. That is sugar. I don't know again. And the color is red. Now, we human, there are those that their blood is not pure red like that of goat, but something that, and light. It doesn't carry weight. You will see some men with veins. Even I've been seeing, and when I see them, I will know. Sugar adds weight to the blood. Then oil also.
So we should be taking oil too.
Oil, sugar, water, salt. Hey, they're very important.
But we are told to avoid oil during the hypertensive people should be very careful because of cholesterol.
Okay. Well, now, when you refuse to follow Christ, life will never be the same now.
Yes.
Things will turn upside down. But when you accept Christ, you see everything just now that you have obeyed.
So the Christ of the body is salt.
You run away from salt. Shebi, you know more than God now. So now your body is now open to danger. But my pastor said that break the edge and serpent to bite you. Yes. as you just stay away from salt, you have invited a lot of sickness
into the body.
See, various sicknesses today is caused by insufficient salt.
So what you're saying is, if we look at, I'm looking at the commonest sicknesses I always pray for people here.
Yes.
We're looking at hypertension. What you're saying is, they should increase the intake of salt.
No.
Or what?
No.
Or sugar.
Now,
which of them?
Now we eat salt every day.
Yes.
But depending on our daily activities and also what we've been eating. Like now, I may be somebody that like to eat salt, and I drink water too much.
Okay.
As I drink water and urinate, it reduces enough. Let me put salt full of this glass. Okay, let me put salt little in this water. Now, the one that will give this water the normal taste of salt. Now, I later add more quantity of water from here to here.
Yes.
Do you think the quantity of sugar to that level of water will be the same?
No, it will not be the same.
Now, our body is full of liquid. Then the liquid will have a content of that salt.
Yes.
So we drink water into our system, and the water will enter the blood and wash away those, mostly water washes. And this water that washes need to go with something also. That is why we eat, we drink.
But I thought that is the function of the liver, the kidney, to
Yes.
make sure that what the body needs is retained,
Yes.
and only what the body does not need is sent out.
Okay. Do you know that our urine must taste salt?
Yes.
Do you think as the water wants to go out, it will leave the salt and go out without urine?
Okay.
Salt is something that dissolves in liquid.
It dissolves, yes.
So you drink water and it's great.
Okay, to follow
You
water
even
out.
test the urine, you test salt. It's even when you don't have salt again that they call it diabetes.
Okay.
So
It is when there is no salt that it results to diabetes.
yes, because now no salt to even because salt aids digestion.
Yes.
So no salt in your sugar, the food you are eating, no enough salt. I remember my grandfather, my maternal grandfather was a diabetic. I remember when I was small, he doesn't eat anything that contains sugar. He doesn't eat gari. He doesn't eat those things that contain sugar. Only plantain and vegetable leaf, unripe plantain and vegetable leaf. See, so salt helps the body when it comes to digestion. You understand? It also helps the body when it comes to excretion.
So what you say is your recommendation for high blood pressure
is eating more sugar and oil.
more sugar
and oil.
oil.
But other way, you know that salt should always be there every time.
Why must sugar and salt always go together?
Okay.
Why can't I use only salt and it will be harmful? If I use only sugar, it will be harmful from what you are saying.
When I make my studies, I first start by looking into the nature. I so much believe in God that God have made everything complete. So I look for a way to use those things the way God created them, thereby trying to study that my own diet is supposed to be as that of natural. Now, the World Health are correct by saying that eating a lot of vegetables, eating live foods, that is those foods that are not cooked, eating them will help to scare away cancer. They are right. Why? Every food that we harvest from this soil contains salt. Those ones that we cook, we add water. Okay, we add water. But another thing is that when we drink water, there is no salt in our drinking water. But not that God made it that we should drink water with salt too. I don't even understand me. But when we are drinking water too much, or when we are working too much, observe somebody that is working hard, those bricks layer that works hard and sweat always, they have body odor.
Why?
Because the little salt they have in their diet sweat off during when they are working. So they sweat much. As they sweat much, the whole salt is being taken away. And that is the time you feel weak. When the salt is off, the body will weak. So when we eat food, If you drink only salt and water, you gain energy. It's even happened in the hospital when somebody's weak, they will just add.
Oral dehydration.
So why when somebody is weak at the point of no strength at all, they will add salt and sugar to why? Then why then should we avoid it? Sugar has no measure. When somebody say I went to test for sugar, I will say, why? Did God tell you the measurement of sugar? If you eat banana too much.
And there are some tests that actually reveal that there's a lot of sugar in your system.
Well,
and science try to prove that that is dangerous. Are you saying that it will only be dangerous if you didn't balance it with taking salt?
Well, I don't disagree with doctors, but I made my own statement of what I know. Then whoever, because I know that what I'm saying now is not everybody that will benefit from it, but there are people that will benefit from what I'm saying. I know. So, if you believe what I'm saying, take it. If you don't believe what I'm saying, please leave it like that. So, salt and sugar works together in the body. Salt comes from above. Sugar comes from above, from the sunlight, while the salt was made from the beginning. It's oceanic. It stays in the soil, in the ocean. Is food. During the sunlight, the sunlight will only bring out only water from the soil. It will not bring out salt. Salt will still remain there. If you put salt and sugar, if you put salt in the pot and cook, it's only the water that will come up. The sugar will still remain. Now, the two things are important. Very, very important. Very important.
You were also trying to let us know sometime that you are trying to explain Gary.
Yes.
Gary and pounded yam.
Yes.
What the difference is. Because
now,
in this part of the world we eat a lot of eba.
When we come to think, why do we have, some people have fibroid, some people have, that you see some men with tumor here,
yes,
some here,
yes,
some here, some little black, substance will be growing on their skin.
Yes.
Now, this is the cause of it, to my own understanding. When we eat food, and that food is not complete with salt. Now, salt is to digest, absorb the food, scatter it, made it useful to the body. Now, when the sufficient salt is not there, the salt will do to its own power. So those ones that cannot be fully absorbed, the salt will now shift it. Everything in the body finds its own way. Understand? The one that is not useful to the skin cannot attach to the skin. It cannot. So that one will just find a particular point in the body and begin to, little by little, is growing. As you even continue to eat that food you like, it will continue to grow there. It happens in the womb. Somebody, it finds itself in the womb. Mostly women, it finds itself in the womb and grow as a fibroid. To some men, it grows here, some here. Some people have, I don't know whether it's what they call cancer, because I see cancer as something that on the skin, some area doesn't match with other skin. That is how cancer does now. Some area will just change, will not match like other skin. I think that is how the thing does.
Well, they say cancer is the abnormal growth of cells.
Yes,
in the body.
yes. So, to my own understanding, insufficient salt causes cancer. That is what the result I have from my own observation.
Same thing.
The same thing causes fibroid.
fibroid.
Yes.
So how do you avoid getting fibroid?
Now, God has made all the food balanced and complete.
Yes.
If you want to even consider it, you go into the bush and see those animals as they are living in the bush. They live very healthy.
Yes.
You will not see any animal in the bush that is sick. You rather see animal in the house that is sick. Those animals, they eat from what they see in the bush. And they are living very healthy. They can only be killed. Maybe they are being attacked by the enemy. So, we human also, does it mean that God loves animals more than us? God even made us in his own image. He made everything available for us. See, it's only ignorance that made us go astray.
But we have what of the element of protein in the body?
Well, when we want to talk about
because some people say avoid meat, red meat, fish,
okay.
Poultry.
Yes. In that way, I study. I told you earlier that I made my study from the nature. When you look at the nature, the food that we eat is partly solid and partly liquid.
Liquid, yes.
For example, pineapple.
Yes.
There are some chuku inside there,
yes.
Solid substance.
That's the fiber aspect.
You see, then there is pure liquid also.
Yes.
In that, we go to cassava.
Okay.
There is liquid content of cassava, and also
yes.
there is solid content of it.
Yes.
That is how God made it. Now, by the time you begin to avoid eating much of the cassava, you avoid eating much of the pineapple or apple or all those things, they are both sugar, salt, and the solid part of it. So you now avoid eating them much. You now eat more meat. Now, let us look into meat. What are the content of the meat? Because if a lion that is living on meat, the lion eats together with the bones.
Okay, eat together with the bones.
Do we eat together with the bones?
We throw the bones
yeah, that is
to
where
get calcium.
That is where meat is very dangerous to human health, because we are not eating the meat with the bones. You discover that in the bones marrow, there are things in the marrow.
Yes.
There are even salt in the marrow.
Yes.
But, lion eats everything. Dog eats everything. Both the bones, everything. If even after you might have finished your meat, the dog carry the bones and he finished the bones. He finished it. Now, the main thing is in that bone. We eat the flesh because it's very sweet. Very sweet. We leave the bone. You see now? That is where the problem comes.
I eat bones a lot. I enjoy it, but I just enjoy it, but I was not eating it for the nutritional value.
Okay. So, what am I trying to say now is that
maybe that's why I'm stronger than ministers like Sunday and even my PA. I'm able to. So maybe it's because of the bones I eat. Even Jerry, I'm stronger than him.
You mean that you eat much
bones?
It's very good.
I eat bone very well.
Good. It's very good. You know that when you are eating turkey, you discover that after the whole skin, the bones also, there are things inside. So
okay. Now. You will answer so many questions.
Yes,
by anybody that will listen to you.
By His grace.
But we learn something here. What you are saying is protein is good. I mean, meat, that is red meat,
yes,
is harmful if you don't mix it with the bone.
Yes.
Just as sugar will be harmful if you don't mix it with salt.
Yes.
Okay. Now, we look at what is it that makes somebody to be obesity.
Yes. To my own study. In my own
Do you
study,
link salt to it too?
Obesity is caused by overeating.
Now,
number one.
but you say that there can be nothing like over excess, because your mouth should let you know when there's a limit for taste.
Yes.
Are you saying that the stomach too does not have limit?
The stomach also has limits.
And so,
Okay, let me come to that.
Why don't I follow your thought and say you cannot overeat?
Let me come to that. When there is how you eat,
Yes.
now, your body will tell you that you are satisfied.
Okay.
But because of the test, now in another in greed, I don't know how to put it, because it's very sweet, and your body is telling you that it's okay. You feel it now that you are okay, but you will still eat extra because of the sweetness of the food. We still eat more.
Can't salt break it down?
So if only you have the enough salt, because I say that when you want to burn a big animal, you put big fire. You want to burn small meat like rats, small fire don't burn it now.
So
you that have big, you need much salt.
More salt to break down the...
Yes.
So you are saying that too much food can make you to be fat?
Yes.
Oh, wow. What of effect of cooking? Cooked food and raw food. Does cooking not affect the quality of the food?
The cooking affects the quality of the food based on the type of food. For example, you cannot eat beans raw. You cannot. You have to cook the beans to soft before you can eat it.
Yes.
I believe I just, in my own thought, I just think that God did not make beans for we to chew it like that. I just think that God made beans that we should cook it before we can eat. I think so. So when we cook beans, I don't think there is anything that is. Everything I study, I follow nature. I acquire the knowledge from anybody. I just look into how God made it in nature. Now, if you want to talk about yam, we cannot eat yam without to cook. If the yam even touch your skin, it will scratch you.
Exactly.
Now, we have to cook yam before we eat it. We have to cook meat before we eat.
So what you're saying is that maybe to balance, from my understanding, to balance the loss of salt and sugar from those cooked food, you add salt to your food?
Yes. Now, the beans that we cook has its own salt and sugar. There is sugar in the beans.
Yeah.
When we cook it, we add water to it, and not only water. That process that the water is boiling it. That steaming is, do you know that the water will wash away the present salt
and sugar.
So you cannot just cook it without salt. You need salt now to cook it, because you add water, and it's because the water itself contains salt. So
what you are now saying is that we because that these things are you should always add salt to what you eat to balance it.
Yes.
Though you have already said the mouth will tell if you need it or not.
Yes, the mouth will tell you that your mouth is your best doctor to tell you what to eat or not. Can
sugar and salt in the body help to prevent boils?
Well, salt itself, according to what I said from the beginning, helps in the removal. Salt helps in the removal of waste from our system. When we eat food, the salt has something to do with all those things that are not useful. It helps in the digestion. It also helps in the excretion of water.
But medical science tells us that it is the white blood cells that fight infection, not salt.
Well, To my own understanding, when I add salt and sugar, it becomes a white liquid. I think that white blood cell is made up of salt and sugar in the blood, because the blood has the white content of it, has the red content. So in that white content, what do we think is in there? I think that is salt and sugar.
In the white cells.
Yes.
Maybe that is what also constitutes calcium.
I mean the white.
That the composition of the bone.
Now, yes. When we are now coming to arthritis.
Yes. Yes.
Let me not use the word arthritis, because that word come from
science.
It's a medical term.
Medical
Let me just do what
your crude way of knowing it. Yes.
For one to have pains on the bones,
yes,
joints, waist. First of all, let us look into oil. What is the work of oil? Let us start from the motor, motor car, or let me say engine. In an engine, can an engine work without oil?
Oil to lubricate.
Yes, it cannot work.
Yes.
Can't. We organism also, we need oil. That's why in our eating foods, there are those food that contains oil. For example, there is oil in groundnuts, palm fruits. Many of them contains oil. This oil, the duty of that oil is also to join hand with the salt and sugar to make the body.
So when you have enough oil,
sugar,
you cannot have arthritis.
Cannot. It always there to protect the joints, because if I stand up now, there is something that will help the joints not to.
I think I agree with you, because I take a lot of cod liver oil, and I believe I can't have that.
Yes.
And I've recommended it for people who have it. They took it. And
yes, because cod liver oil is a oil. It's oil.
It's oil.
See, whether it's cod liver oil, whether it's palm oil, whether it's groundnut oil, they are all oil. When they get into the system, they do the same work. What is their work? To guard the body, to help the body. In the dictionary, when I read about oil, it said it makes engine to work very easy. You see, it makes our joint to work very easy. You run. That is why you see children. They are very healthy. They have all those things available in their system.
But before we take a break, Brother Wisdom, are you saying that cholesterol can be eliminated by salt intake?
Well, this cholesterol is a medical, terminology. I don't want to use that their terms. I have reason why I don't want to use their terms.
Yes.
I don't know what is cholesterol. Let me use that word.
Cholesterol is excess fat, and that is resulting from excess oil in the body.
Let me do like this. Let me cut it very short. When you have salt in your system, it eliminates
excesses,
all those nonsense that are not useful in your system.
Okay.
The salt doesn't allow the oil to harm you. It doesn't allow the sugar to harm you. If you even drink water that is contaminated. Why do we have typhoid? Is it not because we drink water that is not clean?
Yes.
Then are you telling me that in the presence of salt, the water that is not clean will have any effect on you? If you said so, why then are they using chlorine to treat water? Chlorine is part of salt. Yes, they use chlorine to treat water. So, if you have salt in you, then why would you have typhoid?
Okay, that's making sense. Thank you very much. Now, before we take a break, and when we come back, you will tell us how you were able to make your child to breastfeed only without food for 1 year. Thank you very much. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. God bless you. Welcome back. It's still the interview session with Brother Wisdom, proving to us that salt and sugar is good for health. That avoiding salt and sugar is dangerous to our well-being. Brother Wisdom, once again, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now just before we go to your child issue, we are told that there are different types of salt. That there is the sea salt and there is the factory processed salt. That the one processed in the factory contains silicon, aluminium silicon, which is dangerous to health. But that one from the sea is what is recommended for domestic use and for eating. Edible salt.
Yes.
That is recommended. So, how do you relate that? Because they keep warning us, and that is this salt that should be iodized? I think we are told that there is that salt should be iodized or something like that. I don't know your own study, how to know which salt to use.
Well, from my own study, as I study the nature, God, from the beginning, He knows the end. God knows that God knows how salt will be used. He's the one that created the salt. He knows all from the beginning, and He made everything perfect. He made us perfect to be resistant to any diseases. We cannot be affected by that chemical called silicon or what, I don't know. I'm not.
So are you saying that the body, if you take poison, it will not affect you?
I'm coming.
Because you take a lot of salt?
Well, I'm still in the study. I've not expanded my study to that level. I just have to exit on where I know. I do not know about poison. What I know is that.
Well, I believe that poison is anything that is higher than what salt can contain.
Yes.
Put sulfuric acid in the body, and you are gone.
Yes, that one is true.
Yes.
And there are those things that our body doesn't need. We cannot drink kerosene. We cannot.
Okay, the taste bud will reject it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Immediately you bring it closer to
will reject
your nose, your tongue will reject it. If your nose will accept it, maybe it tries to to deceive you. Maybe the taste is pleasant. Immediately the smell is pleasant, but immediately it enters your tongue, just like some cream tastes very sweet. But when it touches the tongue, you will not like it. You see, so the best thing we can use to detect our food is our tongue. So about salt, to my own understanding, the salt that is from the sea. From the sea that we have iodine. Iodine is in the water that is in the ocean. There is iodine present in that water in little quantity. Okay. That is where they get the. So any salt that they bring from the sea, there must be a iodine in it. Yes. Then in other way also, they talk about industrial salt, yes, and also table salt. But in my own point of understanding, I think that even the table salt, it was through a process that they were able to gather it. Because salt, when they got salt from the water, the way they boil it to remove the vapor, then the remaining one will be salt. That's how they do. The same way also about sugar. What I don't know about sugar is that how they separate the salt from the sugar, because originally the salt comes with the sugar in sugar cane. So how they separate the salt and preserve only the sugar, because only the sugar can be powdered. You cannot powder salt and sugar together. You cannot. If you mix salt and sugar together, they automatically dissolve to water. So their only way of preserving the sugar is to separate the salt and store it. Then when you want to take the salt, you now add the salt back. I mean the sugar, you add the salt back. It's now balanced.
Okay.
So now salt is something that I don't know how to put it. It prevents us from all those dangerous, chemicals, just as that silicone or whatever. See, so when we have salt, what will salt do? Is it not to wash those things away after you eat? Why then was excretion?
So you don't believe there's dangerous salt?
Well, maybe the one that is poisoned, but I've never tested the one that has different tests. I discovered that they all have the same test.
Same test.
Yes.
They all have the same test. And now you are saying that all you are saying is you cannot take excess salt.
You can take excess salts.
Or excess sugar.
You can take excess sugar.
How? At what point do you say this is excessive?
Your
Still the tongue again. Okay?
your
We're coming
system-
back to the same thing. The tongue will tell you.
will tell you. If sugar is too much in this water and salt, maybe sugar is more than salt or salt is more than sugar, your tongue will tell you. You will automatically, you will not like it if it is too much. But if it is normal, you will like, this thing is very sweet. Bring more. I don't know. Just like if you've tested malt now, it's very. What makes malt to be so? We like malt. Like personally, I like Malta Guinness. There is balance, salt and sugar, and also even if more sugar is added to it, once you add more sugar to it, you discover that you need to add little salt also. It will balance. So naturally, they come like that. Sugar, salt.
Now,
No.
but don't you think that there is also a factor of individual composition? That what your body may take, my own body may not be able to take. For instance, you are talking confidently of taking, say, malt. There are some people that once they take a malt drink, they go very weak. Yet it contains salt and sugar.
Yes, malt. Malt. There is a corn. There is corn in malt.
Starch.
That's starch. There's
Yes.
corn there. Anytime we take pap, that sleep. That God did not make it that way. It's just that we, after removing the old ingredient, it's only starch.
But
No salt.
the salt and the sugar supposed to balance it. Why
Yes.
do you still take it and get very weak?
You've been taking malt.
Malt, yes, for instance.
Well, a malt, to my own understanding, a malt is not. It's just like taking. I don't know how to put it. If I drink Coke, you take Coke now. Coke is light. It's not heavy. If you eat food now, and be satisfied, somehow you will not. That very moment, you will not, unless there is enough salt. Now, the salt in the malt is not enough. Now, somebody that drinks the malt, it depends on the state of the food that you have eaten already before taking the malt, or the state of your salt. You are weak already. You now drink it, and it's not balanced. I don't know whether I make any point. So, more sugar, like now, when we talk about taste now, that there is a balanced test of sugar. If you've tested sugar cane,
Sure.
you know that the test, nobody hates the test.
Nobody.
The only person that hates the test is somebody with the knowledge that sugar is not
Sugar
good.
is good, you're not good, yes.
See now, but your body will accept it, even the same way as banana.
Yes.
Now, do you know that there is no enough sugar in malt?
That is the reason.
Yes.
Okay. There's a secret you wanted to tell us. When you are hustling up and down, you are weak.
Yeah,
You
sweating.
just go grab gala. How do you say you do it?
I will take gala,
Uh-huh.
like 2 sausage. I will now use Coke or Pepsi to.
But why did you choose this combination?
Uh-huh. Now, gala, it's made of wheat flour. Uh-huh. It's a solid food. Now, if you go to cassava, it has a solid form of it and also the liquid form of it. Now, the liquid form of it now, I'm taking it now in Pepsi. While the solid form of it now, I'm getting now in gala. See now, our body needs solid food always, but not too much. Because now the energy we take in, if we have not used it up, it will be stored. So that time that we do fasting, our body will be going to the storehouse.
So when you take gala, because it contains salt.
Gala contains salt, yes.
And you take sugar,
a
mineral.
Pepsi. And mineral contains little salt, but it's not all that balanced.
Because of the sugar, when you take it, you save strength.
Balance, heavy.
But those who have a pile, what is the factor of salt and sugar for people who have pile? Because pile comes from indigestion. It's a digestive problem.
Yes. In fact, pile, comes from poor diet. Poor diet. When I say poor diet, a diet that is not balanced. When they are talking about balanced diet, according to when I was taught, mineral salt is included. It's included. Salt is included, and is the most important of all. Now, when somebody eats a lot of carbohydrates without enough protein, it causes that pile. And not only that, that one is basic now. The background is salt. The background is salt.
Salt.
The background. Now, you can see that there are natural food that contains maybe very little or no sugar. But you can never see a natural food without salt. Now, salt has its own season. Sugar has its own season. Not that season like that, but season that you can take more sugar.
Like what season?
Now, do you know that even in nature, they works according to how God made them?
Yeah.
Now, do you know that we have mango during dry season?
Yes.
Is mango bitter or sweet?
Sweet.
Very sweet.
Yes.
During the hot weather. Do you know that during cold weather, we don't have sugarcane during cold weather?
Okay.
If you even see sugarcane that time, it cannot be sweetened. The taste will not. The
Different.
sugar will not. You will not like the taste that time. Now, sugar is not needed much during cold weather. Do you know that when I get into this office, do you know that my system immediately reflects with the AC?
Yes.
You know why? Because I've taken sugar. There's sugar in my blood.
Okay.
So the works of sugar makes the blood to be cool. So now AC now join its own also. So it increases the level of the cold.
Yes.
That is why I hold this thing like this.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So pile can be avoided if you balance
Your diet.
What you eat.
Yes, but the background is also very important. Salt. Then some people, the diet is not even balanced. No balanced protein, and no even salt. Not to even help.
So So if I understand you now, okay, maybe before I go into what I want to ask you, tell us about your baby.
Yes, my baby girl, she's now 2 years and a month now.
You have 2 children.
Yes.
You were able to
one.
use the 2 to confirm what you believe.
No, the first one, yes, because my first baby, that is my boy, that one stopped breastfeeding by 4th month. By 4th month, he refused to be taking the breast milk. And then I was not in Lagos. I was at my place. One of my brother was in trouble. Myself, I was in trouble because my junior brother happened to ride an Okada and kill the police inspector. So it wasn't an easy case. I have to be there.
So you were away from
throughout
the
that
family.
period, my wife was calling me, baby is no longer taking breast milk. They said that we need to be giving the baby solid food, the food that we are eating. So anyhow, I'll do it when I come. So when I came back, I have to start to think, why is it that the baby stopped? He doesn't want to eat suck the breast again.
Yes.
I always like to imagine things, especially when it comes to things that are natural.
Yes.
So I discovered that I use my first born to know about the second one. I use the 2 of them to learn
To confirm,
something.
yes.
You see now, the first one, my wife don't used to eat sugar because the doctor told her, as you are in lactation, you don't have to, take sugar for the sake of your baby. Even traditionally, old women, they will advise, don't take any sugar. Some even go to the extent of not even taking the natural one that is from fruit or any food.
That is sweet.
You see,
Anything
they
that's sweet.
avoided anything that is sweet.
Mm.
So that kills the quality of the breast milk.
Mm.
So the baby is very sensitive. God has made the baby automatic.
Yes.
Our God is so wonderful.
It is.
He made everything perfect. The baby shone that breast. He shone the breast. He said, please, he doesn't want to take the breast because it's not the quality that the body is looking for.
Mm.
Anyway, since you cannot make your breast to be okay, find me food to eat.
That's right.
And that was how he stopped sucking. My second born, that one is a girl. During the gestation,
Yes.
hey, in the morning, if I want to go out, I will prepare tea, pump sugar. After my wife, after she finish eating,
Yes.
I will now use sugar tea as to supplement.
Yes.
I'll put 15. I can, okay, in this cup of, if I prepare tea full of this cup, I may use just 6. Just because of the level of the water is not what if like this one I can use 8.
Like this one?
Yes, I can use 8.
Eight
And
cubes of
the surprise part of it is that by the time you will test the tea,
Yes.
you will not say that the sugar is too much.
What do you put there? You put
Salt.
Okay, you will add salt.
And milk. Now,
What quantity of salt that will go with 8 cubes of sugar?
what happens?
Teaspoon, tablespoon.
Just little salt. You
How
apply.
little?
You may use the salt at the
Teaspoon.
edge of the mouth of the spoon. It's just small and drop. Now, when
Just little.
yes, when you apply the salt, you now have to test it.
To see whether you will
when you
test the
test
salt
it,
there.
when you test it, this very thing will tell you that's small. It
Okay.
remains small. You add a little one, it balance. You leave it. It balance. You leave it.
Okay.
So sometimes my wife will always call me, please come and prepare tea. Because when I'm preparing, when I put salt, I test it.
Now this was when she got pregnant.
Yes.
Is it right from when she got pregnant?
Yes.
Or after she delivered?
No, during the
Pregnancy period.
uh,
You will
after eating
her food.
salt and sugar, milk, box it in a large quantity, give to her, she finish it. You know what? Throughout the time, my wife, throughout the gestation period, she was very beautiful. Because I remember the first one, she was very ugly. So this very one, she very beautiful. People will say, this woman, you are carrying baby, you are with this your pregnancy, you are still looking very beautiful like this. It's strange now. It's not used to happen like that. Another thing.
And what is the reason?
It's because of the salt and sugar adding to her diet.
So what you are saying is, when a woman is pregnant, she needs much
sugar and salt. That is why some mothers, while they are during pregnancy, you see their foot, this place swell up.
Yes.
That is an evidence that they don't have enough salt.
Okay.
Yes. It's salt that will excrete the water away from the body.
Okay.
The baby also, it is now two people eating from the same body.
Yes.
So the baby takes its own, while the mother also takes. So you are now going to have to increase the intake of our body have supplement of fat. That fat is energy supplement.
Yes.
But we don't have salt supplement. Once it's off, it's off. That time one became very tired. Very tired.
So, and then after the birth now, she still continues taking the same preparations, the sugar.
Yes.
And
I have to study.
Yes.
When she delivered the baby, you know that when somebody is undergoing a process that you use much energy, sugar is also consumed. Sugar is also born of during the time you are burning the energy. Sugar is also, because sugar is part of the substance that produce energy.
Yes.
So during the time of to deliver baby, the woman will somehow she'll be feeling there will be a kind of fear that will come upon her. Oh, God help me, all those things, those fear, and you know that the heart consumes much energy. So after the childbirth, some will even lost blood in the process. So after the childbirth, some mothers doesn't get the breast milk doesn't come out immediately. It delays. So that was when also I have to come to learn another thing. Why is it that a mother will born for 4 days?
Breast milk.
Who didn't know that? It's because of no sugar and salt.
It's because of no sugar and salt.
Yes.
Lack of sugar and salt.
Yes.
You solve it with your wife.
Yes. Now, some will say drink palm wine. Some will say prepare pap. Now, I'm not looking at what you said I should prepare. I'm looking at the content of that palm wine.
Yes.
What is the content of the palm wine? They said the fresh one. The palm wine carries sugar and salt now.
Yes.
So the pap, they will prepare for the mother. Some prepare the pap without sugar, and it will still delay because sugar is not there. Now, what is so special about this salt and sugar that even the newborn baby have to start the new life with
it?
Only, let me just say that, starch, salt, and sugar. The baby's breast milk, one side is sugary, then very little salt, while one side is salty but little sugar.
The breast of a woman.
Yes. One side, I go into study, I have to find out those things. One side of the breast tastes saltier, that is, salt is more than sugar. One side, sugar is more than salt. That is the test.
One side, salt is more than sugar. The other one, sugar more than salt.
Yes.
Wow.
So sometimes the baby like to suck that side that is very sugary. Sometimes the baby like they want to suck that side that is salty. Now the baby is sensitive. It's automatic. Now, when the weather is cold,
Mm-hmm.
she needs that side that is salty. When, from my own study, when the weather is hot, the baby needs that side that is sugary. Now, you see the food that God produced in the rainy season, in the cold weather. For example, corn comes in the cold weather. Corn, little sugar. Then pears. Then look at the one that God bring in the hot weather. Orange, mango, sugar cane. During the hot weather, God brings sugar.
Yes.
During the cold weather,
Yes.
little sugar, little, very little, then salt. But there must always be salt there. You see? So I use nature to study
Yes.
human body, how it works.
Okay. I don't know if you have mentioned this before. I think you have talked about libido.
Yes.
Doctors, are you saying that salt and sugar helps your libido?
Very, very important. Very, very vital. I don't know how to put it. Now,
Because
there is one problem we have as men. This one problem we have. We think that sugar works against libido. So, because of that fear, we avoid salt too much, and this thing have done a lot of damage.
Hmm.
Now,
Sugar particularly.
yes, because at least we have been eating salt, but
Yes.
sugar is what we have been
Yes.
avoiding. Now, if you put excess salt in this water and drink, it will burn your tongue. It will be it's acidic. It will burn your tongue.
Yes.
Now, I again put the same quantity of salt in the water. That same level of water.
Yes.
Put salt in that same quantity again that you put before that burn your tongue.
Yes.
Now add sugar to it and drink. It will not harm anything in your tongue will not feel any damaged. I don't know whether I make any sense there. When your system is full of only salt, it's dangerous. So medical science, they are right. The two have to be there.
Because we're talking about acidity and alkalinity now.
They are the two. When sugar is there. Now,
Is it not because sugar is alkaline and salt is acid?
well,
So sugar is supposed to neutralize, because it is alkaline, neutralize the acidity of the salt. Now, water is also alkaline. Is that not the reason why it is recommended that to remove acidity from your system, take a lot of water? But you are saying water washes away nutrients.
water washes away nutrients.
But water is alkaline.
You know, when the water is there, it's just like you washing clothes without soap. Can that cloth be clean?
No.
You drink only water without any salt in your system.
Okay, that was. Let me not digress. Tell us about libido. Men will be interested to know what can increase or decrease their libido.
Now, let me first start from our own belief, what we believe as men, even what I believed before.
Yes.
We believe that sugar is dangerous to men because it weakens their libido. So because of that, we have been avoiding sugar too much. So for this reason, we have weak erection. We have weak erection. We have low sperm counts. In fact, because of this, men even develop dead cells. They call it dead sperm. Sperm that cannot fertilize.
Yes.
Is because of this. Now, salt in the system without sugar is very dangerous. Salt in the system, no sugar, is very dangerous. But when two of them are there, oh my God, you are healthy. Okay. Sugar increases the level of the sperm. It increases the sperm count. How do I know it? Anytime I eat food, after taking my food, maybe I eat a bar. After taking the bar, I will now use Coke or whatever to supplement it. I will discover that everything in me is working perfectly. So, and also I discovered that if you drink only sugar liquid without salt, it weakens your erection. Now, why is your erection weak?
So it must be balanced.
Yes.
Why you take only sugar?
Yes. Why your
erection?
Yes. Now, why your erection is weakened is because you do not have salt. Now that you stop taking sugar, you stop taking sugar, and even come to a point that you have not taken enough salt, you will still have that weak erection, even when you are not taking sugar. You see now. So now the sugar, oil, they all work together during the in the process of reproduction. Now, the reproduction is what? To produce another new individual. Now, you need all the elements. So, for you to have good health and to reproduce, you have to eat. You eat solid food. You eat oil. You eat sugar. You eat salts. You make sure that all those things are available in you. You are complete. But if you lack salt, out of those things, there will be a very big confusion. Well, your body can manage salt and oil without sugar. Your body can manage salt and sugar without oil or little. But your body cannot manage when there is no salt. And also, it's very dangerous that you have only salt. You talk about people that have goiter, something like that.
Yes, it's salt that causes.
Now, you cheat nature. You cheat nature now. So when you eat balanced solid food, balanced sugar, balanced oil, balanced salt, then your reproductive system is 100%.
Now we are told that watery sperm is bad, causes infertility.
Well, yes, somebody said so, but me, as I study the nature, and also I use myself as a point of, as an object of, study, I discovered that when one avoids salt and sugar, it makes our sperm to be very thick. So
you are saying that thick sperm is as a result of lack of salt and sugar?
Yes.
Wow.
Now, sperm is something that is going for a mission.
Yes.
To somewhere. And there must be a vehicle.
Yes.
There must be an engineer. There must be security. You see, there must be everything around that are going. But the main purpose is that there is something that is, the purpose is to go and produce a new individual. Now, the sperm now itself comes as a cell. It must richly be balanced with salt. So you cannot give what you don't have. So yourself have to be balanced already. So now the salt sugar, everything being together, the sperm can never be very thick. But there will be something thick, but it will not be very thick.
So when it is very thick,
Now,
it is bad.
yes.
And when it is also very watery, is it not bad?
I think what will make it to be very watery is if you are somebody that have been avoiding solid food. For example, there are people that some of these rich men, this thing have caused a lot of infertility in men that has money. In our own mentality, we think that those expensive foods are the best. So we now acquire them because we have money. We eat too much meat. Some that are okay with taking meat and pepper soup with beer. They take pepper soup with beer. A big man, he has money, take beer and meat, pepper soup, and it's okay. And it's okay with that. Sleep. How can you reproduce? No, how can you reproduce?
So you must eat solid food.
Yes. As an adult, we need solid food. Even the young baby that is growing, in the mother's breast there is calcium.
Yeah, there is, sure.
Now, for you to produce new something that resembles you have to provide the complete. You want to build house. If you don't have money to buy cement, can you use only sand to build? You cannot. So everything has to be complete. You see now. So now, what makes sugar to affect us is no salt.
Okay.
When there is salt, sugar doesn't affect you. In fact, to my own story, the only thing sugar can do to you is that if you drink sugar and salt when you have not eaten any food, it will make your feces to be watery. Why? You did not eat solid food, so how can you shit? How can you, how can you? So it's what you eat that you shit.
Yeah.
So if you drink liquid food, how do you expect your feces to be solid? So when you eat a bar, solid one, when you want to shit, what will happen? You see, and another thing is that if you don't have enough, calcium in their body, like let me say something that comes from, carbohydrates, if you don't have balance of it, it also affects strength as a man, strength, balance, because it is solid, something that has weight is very important.
But the food we eat every day, most of them already contain salt.
Yes.
So what is the quantity of sugar? For instance, rate it with cubes of sugar. Do you recommend that we take a day?
Yes, the quantity of sugar that we need now, like now, we are in the dry season now. The weather now is becoming hot, and depends on your environment. For example, you are here, in the office here is cold. You don't need much sugar because if there is more sugar in your blood, you feel very cold much. See now, but to somebody out there, somebody that is affected by the present weather now, if you just open this door now and go outside, you discover that the weather is different from the one inside.
Sure.
Yeah. So that heat takes away sugar, it draws away sugar and salt, because your skin is automatic. Once the weather is hot, it's harmful to your skin. So what sugar does, it comes out as soda.
To protect. Salt. That's what salt does.
Comes out, protect the skin.
Doesn't sugar also protects or salt?
And salt and sugar works together.
They
Now,
together.
the energy, that sunlight, that heat draws energy also. It draws energy. So sugar is also affected by that energy.
So during the when the weather is hot, you need more sugar.
Yes.
Now, sorry, I have to come back to your wife again.
Yes.
What were you were talking about the what you were doing for the mother to have enough breast milk?
Yes. And those period, in those days that my wife was, giving breast to my second born baby girl, I was very rich by then. So sometimes there is no fruit. But God does it in a very miracle way. That after eating a little fruit or no food at all, if I prepare a tea, then I will add much sugar. Sometimes I buy Pepsi. Then I will add sugar to that Pepsi drink. I will now add salt and give my wife to drink. Within some minutes, here is full for the baby.
And the baby will feed on
My
it.
baby feeds on only breast milk. So time comes that
For how long?
For a period of 1 year. So when my wife traveled to her mother, their place, it happens that there they did not allow her to eat sugar the way I do. They were seeing it as a very dangerous, way. You are feeding baby, you are breastfeeding baby. You don't have to test sugar. So she was now listening to the mother, but something happened. She called me on phone that your baby refused to sleep every night. Your baby is not sleeping. He's crying. I asked her, have you stopped eating sugar? She said, since I come, they don't allow me to eat sugar. Mommy said that sugar is not good for a breastfeeding mother. I said, now, this is what you will do. Go and buy milk, buy sugar, come and prepare tea now and drink. And she did it. When she did it, the baby is satisfied. Once there is sugar and salt in that breast milk.
So it is hunger that was
is
making the baby cry. She
Yes.
was not satisfied.
If there is no enough salt and sugar in the breast milk, the baby cannot be satisfied. The baby will be crying. That is why these days some babies even refuse to suck their mother's breast, even from the first day. Why? When they test the milk, no salt, no sugar.
That is it.
A woman that is not okay, those that are influenced that they should not be eating salt at all. Don't tell me what will you give to your baby.
Okay. Thank you.
It's